She's got the bar in her hand and she knows it. Ain't afraid of a dance and she shows it.
When you grow up in a place like Merced, California, your roots aren't just in the ground. They show up in your stories, your voice, and every note you sing. So what happens when you mix small-town California roots with country music dreams? You get William Bailey, and his story starts here in Merced. William Bailey doesn't have an album yet, but with a couple singles out and a hometown behind him, we're here to talk about music, memories, and what it means to start something real. This is Ritmo Roots, and this is the beginning of his story. Let's hear him out. Awesome. Hey guys, welcome to Ritmo Roots. Today we're with William Bailey, and we're actually outside in Merced. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so it's a sunny day. I'm glad we're able to kind of make this happen. We've been talking about it for a little bit, so I'm really excited that we were able to kind of get this done. So we'll just dive right in. Being that we are in Merced and it is your hometown, you shared that you are born and raised here.
Yeah.
What does your hometown mean to you as far as what it represents for you and how it's helped shape your sound?
As far as I grew up in Merced. I'm born and raised here. My sound, I kind of just love the city. It's not too big, but it is getting bigger. And there's a lot of things here that I really like, near and dear. I hold them near and dear to my heart. I mean, there's not too much like crazy stuff here. It's not like overly populated. It's still a very small town, but growing up, I've been able to make a lot of memories here and just turn into who I am because of the people I've met here in the city.
Yeah.
Growing up with my family and everybody that I've just been able to meet here. This town, it wouldn't have happened if Merced wasn't here for me. So being able to meet with my friends and the people I've connected with and help develop who I am, it just means so much. So I try and take that, reflect it to my music, and just try and stay true to who I am most of the time. Just a small town kid that likes to make music. Honestly.
Yeah. Now, being that you were both, born and raised here, was music something that was always a part of you since growing up, since you were little?
Yeah. I grew up listening to music all the time. My mom, she's Hawaiian. My dad's Hawaiian. So we grew up listening to a lot of reggae and a lot of Hawaiian reggae. And then you have, other cultures here in Merced that listen to like Spanish music, rap, hip hop, R&B. And then so you take that, and you mix that with all the music that I've grown up listening to. And I just get like a good blend of everything, and then kind of growing up, when I got older, I started getting a little bit more into country music.
Yeah.
And it really took effect when I was about 18, 19. I just really started to like, country music. And then, so I just added to my arsenal. So then now I just have a brain full of amazing music that I'm aware of, and so the city and the people I've been around with, like it all helps with like developing my style of music
and your sound.
Yeah.
Now, before you wrote your first lyric, or because you have, like you said, the reggae and so many different styles of music that you grew up listening to, was there an artist that you heard them and you're like, oh, I want to do that, like because of them?
Yeah. So I grew up, my first ever favorite artist was Eminem. Eminem was it was pivotal because like I remember being like maybe 8 or 9 in the living room at my at our apartment, and hearing like it was on TV. It was like showing all of his music videos, and I remember hearing him and I was like, whoa, that's pretty sick. And early 2000s is when he was popping.
Yeah.
So growing up, I was just like, whoa, that's my favorite artist. And then still love Eminem. Always grew up listening to him. He's my warm-up song sometimes for like football and sports. And then, as I got older, started diving into more music about it. Like there's like so many different artists, that were like just pivotal at times for me. So I guess like you could say, the artists that I really likes, the artists that I really like are like the artists that I heard their music and I connected with it in a pivotal time when I needed them to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. Now, being that Eminem is like rap, what was it about country that you were like, this is my sound?
I say, I'm a really big on like lyrics and storytelling. I love a song that can make someone feel a certain way. I love a song that can make someone think in their head about a story or a scenario that you don't really think about. Lyrics, I think, are amazing,
Yeah.
as well as a good beat, tempo, a good sound. You put those two together, and if it's able to affect someone, that makes a great song. And so I love hearing that kind of stuff. And anybody who knows Eminem knows that Eminem's a great lyricist.
Yeah.
And so once I have lyrics, and then growing up, I always loved lyrics. And then, once I heard like a country song, I just more so like listen to the lyrics. I like the style too. I like to be able to like feel the rhythm in my hips and stuff.
That's a
But
little bit, yeah.
lyrics are a big thing. So a couple like great artists that I love their lyrics. Luke Combs was my first country artist, where I was like, oh, his lyrics are amazing. Um, Actually, it was also George Strait,
Mm.
old king of country.
Yeah.
George Strait, Luke Combs, and more recent artists, Ernest, Morgan Wallen, Bailey Zimmerman. Like those are all guys that I really think are like their lyrics hit. So
Look up to.
yeah, I really like those type of styles.
Now, because you like the storytelling and that aspect of music, was there, based on what the songs that you've written, was there a lyric that you're like, oh, this is like a song, like I know this is a good song?
Yeah. My first single that I put out with my boy Eric Doman. I just started playing guitar one day. I had a guitar. I got one for my for Christmas from my grandpa, and I was just like, I want to make music. I want to start playing guitar, learn how to play guitar.
Yeah.
Growing up, I wanted to play instruments. I didn't know if I could sing or not. My brothers were always the two singers, so I was just like, we all have music in our genes. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just learn how to play a guitar. So they could sing.
Yeah.
Um, then when I was playing guitar, I started humming lyrics and stuff. So my first song that I ever put out with Eric Doman was "I'll Be All Right," and when I first wrote the chorus for that song, uh, that's when I kind of felt like, oh, like that's a good hit. That's a good chorus.
Yeah.
I brought it around my friends, just showing them that I learned how to play guitar. Then I started singing a song that I wrote that they didn't know I even played guitar or wrote.
Yeah.
And they would tell me like, "Oh, dude, that's really good. You should get that in the studio." I didn't know anybody who could record stuff like that until I met Eric.
Hmm.
I was like, "Hey, man, I have a couple songs I want to write with you or record with you too. Here's my first one." We put out that one, and it got a lot of buzz within the town. A lot of people um, really liked it. A lot of people were telling me like I gotta start doing this more often and making
Yeah.
music, and that's kind of where I first got my first drive. That's where I dipped my toe into like making music.
Yeah.
And then I just started writing a lot more. And but yeah, "I'll Be All Right" was probably the first time I was like, oh, this is a song.
This is what I like
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
Yeah. Now you have, so that was your first one. I think currently, from what I was able to find, I think you have 3 singles out
Yes.
currently. Being that you are a newer artist and you're writing those things, what are some things that you've learned about yourself in the process of recording and actually having to put out that music?
About myself, I learned that like I have I can write about a lot of things. Sometimes it doesn't really necessarily um, relate to me. Like it's not really like my story to be telling. I think I'm pretty good at like just putting myself in situations that I haven't been in. If I have been in the situation that I'm writing about, it makes it a lot more easier for me to write about it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I could just reflect on an idea of a situation and just write about those things that you might be feeling. I have a lot of good. I'm grateful for like a lot of friends that everyone goes through things and they express to me their feelings and stuff like that. And I just imagine myself like, wow, okay, what they must be going through.
Yeah.
So I like to write about anything. It doesn't really particularly have to relate to me. Um, but yeah, given that like I'm a newer artist, I've learned that what kind of styles I like to write to, what environment I have to be in when I'm writing a song.
Yeah.
I take into account that like words mean a lot. So if it's gonna be like a lyric that I don't think will make it, then I don't really
Put it through.
try and put it in there, force it.
Yeah.
I kind of learned that like I like to just write music and go, like if it pops in my head, I'll try my best to write it down real quick if I'm not like busy or at work or something.
Yeah.
But if it pops up in my head, I try my best to lay it down, um, get it in there so that I can come back to the idea. And there's just a lot of stuff to like that I've learned about myself writing songs. With recording too, I've learned to trust my boys. I record with a studio, Steadfast Studios, and they know a lot and they help me out. So I take their word for it, and I just try and take all this information that people know.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are familiar with this industry and this style, of music, and any advice that they can give me to help me out, I always try and take it in and just try and use it
Absorb
to my
it.
ability. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with writing, and because you're telling stories, you have like "See You Down the Road," then you have "Heartbreak Bandit."
Yeah.
Were any of these songs that just poured out, especially because, for example, like me, I love "See You Down the Road." Like
Yeah.
I connected a lot, to like my
Yeah.
loss and people that I've lost and loved
Yeah.
ones.
I
So
appreciate
what did that connect to for you?
it. See You Down the Road. Funny enough, that actually started off as a love song. See You, the first lyric, "Damn, I miss you,"
Yeah.
for the chorus. That started off when I was writing that one. I was just in my garage at home, um, playing my guitar, and yeah, I had a melody coming to me, and I just blurted out words. "Damn, I miss you," and I kind of just went with that momentum of like that's how the chorus is gonna go. That's the melody. Um, it started off as a love song, and then the more I started to piece lyrics together to it, um, I kind of came more to the feeling of, oh, okay, like this song should probably be about something that's not a love song.
Yeah.
You could write a love song every day, any day. You could write tons of different messages in a song, but
Yeah.
this one, I have plenty of love songs. This one, I kind of want to be more of a family song. I want
Yeah.
this song to touch people's hearts. Like I said, like I want the song to be able to hit you hard and relate to it. And in
Yeah.
your instance, you've reflected on it, and a lot of people have reflected on that song. And me, it means a lot to me just because when I was writing it, who I was thinking of and what I was, imagining. Just also for like the loved ones I've lost and stuff. So, putting those songs together, it really means a lot, and I really love those. Just kind of like songs that come to me in the moment. Those are like the special ones.
Yeah. And you can totally hear it in the sound.
Yeah.
That's I definitely think that's a song that I've played a couple of times
Yeah, I
myself.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, being as someone that is early in your career, do you feel any pressure to sound more like other country artists, or do you feel more of a pressure to sound more unique, more like yourself?
I feel a little bit of both sometimes. I do love the music that I listen to,
Yeah.
and I try and take some of that and put it into account of the music that I like to do. But I also do still want to stay true to who I am, and make the music that I like to make. Um, but I also want to put out something that others might like,
Yeah.
and that I try and find a healthy balance to where if I like it, that's great, and if you like it, that's even better. And I try and find a healthy balance. I love others influencing me, with like ideas. Morgan Wallen is probably my favorite artist at the moment, and with his style of writing and his lyrics, it's really influential for me.
Yeah.
But I also try and stay to myself, and I would want to be an influence sometime to another future artist. So I try and have my own style, but there is definitely sometimes some pressure to like, oh, okay, well, this is really hot right now. I
Yeah.
should add this into my songs. But it's like, oh, that's not how I started off. That's not who I am exactly. So I try and just make music that I feel great about, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like putting it out, feel like it's pressured or rushed or something. I just want to make music, and hopefully people like it. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, what is something that someone who hears your song, what is something that you want them to feel, or what is the message, I guess, you're trying to bring across when people hear your sound?
Um, you know, I really I just want to show, I just love making music, but then I also like would love for my music to be like a testament of like, you know, you can come from a small town, you can come from nothing, you know, just doing what you love and chasing your dreams, and it can work wonders. It can
Yeah.
do stuff for you, and I just want, I kind of want to just be an example, and uh, you know, I want people to hear my music, and see who I am, and be like, oh, he doesn't really look like a country artist, but
Yeah.
it's like, you know, that's the style. Just be who you are. I always preach that part. Like, just be who you are. Don't try and conform into groups. Just, you know, be true to yourself. You know, I'm a I'm a Hawaiian kid who grew up in a small town who likes country music and rap. Like,
Yeah.
that's a very unique all blend, you know. But
Absolutely.
you know, if that's what I want to do and that's what I'm chasing, then I'm going to be that. And um, if it's able to influence others to do the same thing, then, you know, music is just the side part. That's what I want to do. I just want to make, you know, I feel like music is good to touch people's hearts and make them feel good.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear a song on the radio, you can be going through something hard and you hear it on the radio and then it just changes your life.
Absolutely.
That would
Yeah.
be something amazing. That would be a testament for me. You know, I would love to hopefully be that example for somebody out there. So that's why I do it right there.
Awesome. Now, with that, what does success look like for you right now? Is that playing, because you just recently had a show? Is
Yeah.
that like, playing a show like the one you played? Is that like a record deal? What does that look like for you right now?
You know, I try not to look too far long term because I, you know you can't predict anything. I try and just do one step at a time. So you know, I success could be measured in so many different ways, but for me, as long as my family and friends are all taken care of, as long as I'm happy and they're all happy, and you know, we're living the best life that we can live. You know, what could you ask for more? You know, it's
Yeah.
not really, you know, about money. You know, it's not really about money or fame or fortune for me. For me, it's all about health and happiness. If my family and friends are all healthy and happy, then I'm healthy and happy. And
Yeah.
you know, for as far as my career, uh, one step at a time. So start off making the music and putting it out. That's a success for me.
Yeah.
Next step is like, you know, doing small shows at a local bar, and then it being a great night. That's a successful night. And then, you know, over time you have all these milestones that you hit, small success stories, um, and uh, it's all worth it in the end. It just makes the success in the end
Yeah.
a lot more appreciative,
Yeah.
a lot more appreciated. And you know, someday I'd like to do something big, but for now I'm just putting my foot in there, and um, just one show at a time, basically.
Nice. Yeah, and that's all we can do at times.
Yeah.
It's kind of just enjoy the process. Now, if you had the opportunity to sit with an artist, whether it's dead or alive,
Mm.
and ask them anything about the music industry or just how their career, what would that be, or who would that be?
Um, Damn, that's a tough one because honestly, there's so many great artists that you can think of, and you know, you would want to ask them for their advice, or you know, talk about what they went through, or talk about their ideas, get something influence from them, you know. And uh, something I'd ask, man. Um, I think I'd probably just ask, you know, through all, you know, one day I want to be big, and I know that that comes with a little bit of, you know, some downfalls as far as like, you know, maybe some paparazzi, or you know, um, some, you know, not so positive outlook from others, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm, you know, I try and be prepared for that. I think that would be one of my questions too, is how do you prepare for that, like when things don't go your way as an artist, or when it feels like, you know, you're starting to go on like a downfall, or when it feels like, um, when times are hard in the music industry, how do you push through that, have a positive mentality, and stick to that?
Yeah.
And how do you also just stay true to yourself? You know, I've been doing that, staying true to myself. I've been pretty good at that for some time now. You know, people change also, so you know, you grow and you develop. But if your character and your personality, you should always try and keep that the same. But I would probably ask just how do you deal with the hard times in as an up and coming artist, or as a
Yeah.
superstar artist? You know, how do you deal with those things? And I would appreciate, like, some great feedback from that. I don't know who it would be though. I I keep
That's what
thinking
that'd be
about it,
like.
man. Like, I don't know. So one artist I'm thinking of is like Michael Jackson or something. Like how
Wow.
he's
Yeah,
so huge, like, and he went through a lot. Like,
he did.
how do you, and he went through some stuff, and there was some stuff that, like, that, he did that, like, would, like, what I mean, like, his coping and stuff, but, like, he, at the end of the day, he was still a great artist. People loved his music, and just that'd be my question: how do you do it?
Yeah,
How do you keep on doing this thing?
with
Like,
everything going on.
yeah, when the world seems like it's dragging you, man, how do you not let it hit you? You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
that'd be some advice I'd love to get prepared for. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Take a little break right here because of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. That's it.
In 5 years, when someone listens to your music, what do you want them uh, to feel or say about your music?
I would hope that in 5 years, I'd hope that uh, first off, I'd be able to look back and just be like, wow, I've grown so much and I've come such a long way. Um, as far as other people, I would hope that they would also see the same thing. And for the people that have stuck with me from day one, I want them to also look and, like, wow, like, he's grown so much. Like, I'm very proud of him. I really just want to make people proud. And as far as, like, fans or people who like my music, I would really love for them to be like, he's being consistent.
Yeah.
He's made music, and I don't expect all of them to be bangers. I don't expect every single song to be a hit, but I would really love for people who listen to my music to be like, you know, um, he's been consistent, and he's always been true to himself
Yeah.
in his songs and making music. I'd obviously like to try some new things out in the future, but we'll get there when we cross that bridge. And it'd be really cool in the future to just still be the same person I am, still doing the same thing I am.
Yeah. Now, what are some things that we can look forward to here with, we're already halfway into 2025. So what are some things that we can look forward to as your fans here?
I'm really excited to just keep putting out songs. We want to put out a EP soon. We want to work on putting together an EP in the future. We, of course, would love to do an album. Um, I'm excited for a lot of shows and some performances, some gigs. Um, I'd really love to just, like, keep putting my name out there. I'm expecting to just keep doing it, and over time, trust the process and hope that it turns out the way I want it to turn out.
Yeah.
Um, and as long as I keep my head in the game, and I'm staying focused, and I'm doing the stuff that I love to do, um, I can expect, and everybody can expect, that I'm not going nowhere, and I'll be making music. So keep I'll just be putting it out there. Just keep in tune with it, and just stream it. Keep listening to my music. Hopefully, thank you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully we can have you back again, hopefully before the next show or something else. I really thank you for, being the first interview here for our show. So I'm really excited. And yeah, I can't wait to see what else you put out, man. Thank you.
Yes, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ritmo Roots.